why depression and sadness is really not a bad thing. And let me explain myself, because I know there's going to be a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, it is a bad thing, you shouldn't be depressed and sad. Not really. If you use depression and sadness to only be on YouTube and TikTok for hours and hours because you're sad and depressed and don't like your life, that's when it's bad. But if you use depression and sadness for fuel at the gym, at your work, at your business, then I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as fuel. The times when you leveled up, was it that you were at your lowest point or your highest point? Me personally, it was when I was at my lowest point, when I was depressed and sad. That's when I needed that fuel of being depressed and sad, that I got to where I am right now. So what I'm trying to say is that when you use your depression and sadness for an excuse to be fat and to be lazy, that's when it's bad. And maybe sometimes you're mad because of the circumstance. When you use all this anger, all this sadness, and put it into something positive, put it into the man that you're supposed to be a man that you're proud of, that is when it's great. But once you start using it for excuses on why you can't pay your phone bill, on why you can't buy a car, why you can't provide for your family, that's when it's a problem. It's not a problem if you use your depression and sadness for positive things. It's when you use it for being negative, when you start complaining, when you start arguing with other people for your circumstances, because it's your fault at the end of the day. Depression and sadness are temporary. Everything is temporary. Your emotions are temporary. So the fact that you use your, let's say, your father's death or your mother's death for your circumstances right now, and why you're in this situation that you are right now, that you have a 1999 Corolla, that you still live in apartments, that you're broke, that is your fault. It's nobody else's fault. You can't take control of death. You can't take control of how life comes at you. You just got to be ready when it does come at you. That goes back to what I'm saying, is that you must be a man that you're proud of, that you look up to. If you look in the mirror, you're not proud of that man, then you're most likely not doing something right in life.
So let me tell you why having depression or sadness a couple of times in your life isn't as bad as you may think it is. Because if that happens multiple times during your life, maybe in your young times or maybe in your 30s, whatever it may be, it's a sign that you keep going back to bad habits, or it's a sign that you're not doing something right. You're not taking care of your body. It's a sign that your mind is telling you, you know, you could be doing more. We've been in a better place, but you keep going down and you're going back up and you're just fluctuating. Why? Because you keep going to the bad habits, whether it's that you're fat. You say you're going to do something, you're taking it seriously, and then you fall back after a couple years and then you fall again into depression. People keep questioning you. Why you keep getting depressed? Why you keep getting sad? What's the sadness about? You're doing good. Always because I don't know. I don't feel like myself anymore. I don't feel like the person I used to be. And it's most likely because you're not taking care of your physical health, or your financial stability is going lower and is lowering every single couple of years. And it's mostly because you're going out, you're going to the club, you're buying drinks for women that you shouldn't be buying for, or you're buying all this dumb stuff that you don't need, or you're spending it on addictions, whether it's drugs or alcohol, like I said, whatever it may be. If you keep going back to the sadness, if you keep getting depression constantly or multiple times every 10 years, let's say, it's a good thing. At least you're realizing that you keep doing something bad in your life, but it could be a good thing or a bad thing right after you realize that, okay, I'm shit, I'm not important, I need to change. It's a good thing, but right after that, it's all up to you to see if you're going to change, or you're going to keep going back the same route that you keep going to, where you change for 5 years and you go back down after those 5 years. So it's all up to you.